Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's a Sunday. Pretty high scoring day yesterday. Pretty high scoring day. Some great performances from numerous players. I pointed out some pretty nice options yesterday, and I'm glad I did. Hopefully, you guys benefited from that. Couple late scratches and things yesterday kind of threw threw some people for a loop, and opened up value, and it was just it's not different than any other day. So hopefully no one got burned, and I cashed on both sites, which is a good thing. And let's get right off into today's six gamer. Maine. I probably won't be covering that early game, but let's get right into it. I want to try to get this out the way as quick as possible, so I don't have you guys trying to, kind of dragging along. But this slate here, it's what can I say? It's another slate. Kind of like straightforward, but there's some surprises here. We'll get into it. Starting off with this first game, we got Denver and Minnesota. Right off the back, we know how Denver likes to play that slow drag out game. That game. Memphis like to play that slow drag out game. They like to get in, get under your skin and all of that. But Memphis will be on the road at Denver, and the Mike Conley, for instance, he has a great matchup. He has a great matchup. He's someone that I used to be on him real heavy. He's someone that I'm learning to stay off of, but I don't mind the play. I definitely don't mind the play. He had to give you, at least 40 or mid 40s for you to be happy, but it doesn't, he doesn't have to hit 40 to get value, but, at that price, he might as well be 8K. And if Denver can provide some firepower, to keep this game, kind of close, or possibly make Memphis have to play, the Conleys, Marcus Gasols, and things like that, where you can get some good fantasy production out of Memphis, then that'll be great. Marcus Gasol, you got Marcus Gasol, somebody who I don't mind. His price went up to 200, and I was really high on him last game, and he just totally wet the bed for me. But I wouldn't mind going back to him. Definitely. Zach Randolph, it is what it is when it comes to Zach Randolph. Tony Allen is a guy. He had a pretty nice outing last game. Sometimes you see that, sometimes you don't. He'll probably see some Gary Harris for the most part. He's priced at 4,800, and I don't know. I'd probably be looking somewhere else. I won't be chasing that, but he's one of those guys that can have a nice game out of anywhere. And I'll just move over here to the Denver side of things. Nikola Jokic, he's 9,800. Anybody who knows me, been watching me for a while. I really love this guy, and I'm quite sure a lot of guys do too. For fantasy purposes, But, coming out of the All-Star break, right here is when the first game right here. Now, I said I'm going to take it. See, I always play him. I said I'm going to take a chance on fading him, and because for the simple fact that they're getting so deep, they are so deep, and they're so healthy. They're getting so healthy. So I figured, and then they added Plumlee. So I'm like, I got the fade. I mean, common sense is going to tell me to at least try to fade him. And then once I got on that fade train, then I ended up fading him again right here. Against Brooklyn, because they're just so deep, man, and then his price was so high. It came down, will I end up playing him today? I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably be fading him tonight as well. I don't mind if you fire him up, but I'll be fading him. I'll be looking somewhere else, to probably like right here, Danilo Gallinari. Probably my favorite play from this game. Especially with on account of price considerations. He's someone that he can give me some upside on that price tag. And I'll be looking to roster him. You got Will Barton and Wilson Chandler. These guys are. This is a interesting game. They have so much firepower. It's just going to be, are they going to be able to knock down the shots against this Memphis team? A great game, for a basketball fan, but I really like Gallinari in this one, on this side of the ball. And I'll move over to the next game, Utah-Washington. This will be the first time these two teams met. So last year I believe that Washington beat them. Yeah, Washington beat them last year. This will be the first time these two teams met. So let's look at the Utah side of things. Gordon Hayward is someone that I absolutely like. I love the price. I love the price on him at $7,500. He's coming in at $7,800 on Fanduel, so I really like that play. Clash of the Titans right here. You got Rudy Gobert going against Gortat. So me personally, I'll probably lean towards Gobert here. He's pretty self-explanatory. I like him. I like him a little better than Gortat. He's a better rebounder, has better defense, and as long as he gets a double-double, he's primed. He's primed to get a few blocks and things like that. So I definitely like Gobert in this one. Very nice price point at $7,100. He's $7,700 on FanDuel, so that's something to keep an eye out on. George Hill, he's at a night. He's priced at $5,900. Pretty nice price. I don't know if I'll be on him. I have some great point guard. They have some great point guard options on this slate at a nice price, but I don't mind George Hill. You can go ahead and fire him up. I really don't mind George Hill. Derek Favors, he had a pretty nice game last game and played 26 minutes. Had 33 fantasy points versus a Milwaukee team. He's coming in at $5,100. If you want to take that chance on him, then go ahead. It's looking like his minutes are around that 25, 26 area as the last 3-4 games. And, if he can get up to that consistent 30-minute range, then that'll be awesome, And that's about it. Roddy Hood came back from his injury. He played about 21 minutes. Somebody who I'm not on, but he could be very sneaky. On the Washington side of things, I'm not looking, probably not looking to roster any of these guys. Probably not one, Bradley Beal sitting at a pretty nice price. Gortat has a pretty nice price. Otto Porter, pretty nice price as well. mentioned John Wall. He's under 10K, but you know, I probably won't be looking to roster anyone from this side of the team, from the side of the ball, and they're probably going to be low owned. Marquise Morris is interesting. You know, he's able to stretch the floor, so he's an interesting play. You know, he'll probably be guarded by Favors, and you know, he can provide, you know, the three ball. He has the three ball. You know, he has the jump shot, and he can probably get around Favors. Just when he gets around Favors, he'll have to meet Gortat at the rim. But you know, as far as stretching the floor, Marquise Morris can do that, and you know, like I said, these guys will be going low on, and if you can find a gem in here, they'll help you win the GPP. On the Boston and Detroit, juicy game here. Well, I wouldn't say juicy, but you know, it's some spots in here in this game that I like. So I'll start right off at the on the Boston side of things. Isaiah Thomas, somebody who I really like today. He has a matchup with the combination of Reggie Jackson and Ish Smith. These guys, they don't have very good defense at the point guard spot on the Detroit side of things. I really like Isaiah Thomas, and his price is down. So, you know, at 8,700, I don't mind the play. I like the play, you know. His price is down. He's due for an explosion. So no better time to catch him than, you know, when his price is under 9K. Al Horford, they want to figure out a way to get Al Horford, you know, incorporated in the offense. You know, excuse me, guys. Going back to that Isaiah Thomas, and you can't get him at 8,700 on Fanduel. I mean on DraftKings, and on Fanduel you can get him at 95. So that's, you know, a price, you know, difference for you right there. But like I was saying about Horford, they're trying to get him a little bit. They're trying to find a way to get him, you know, a little bit more better looks. And you see at his last 4 games, well, last 2 games he struggled, and he took a dip in a couple games ago in 24 and 25. But guess what? His price is down. And last time these two teams met, what did he do? Because I know they just met recently. Who are they playing? Detroit. Let's see. He's priced at 6,100 on FanDuel as well. And when they played Detroit, he played 35 minutes and he had 31 fantasy points. So there you have it. But I like the price for Horford. You know, he's 6K. He got to give you 30 to hit value, and I like his price. So Jay Crowder is another guy. He's sporting a pretty nice price tag. He's sitting at 5,300 on FanDuel. He's priced at 5,800, so he's under 6K. Last time these two teams met, he had 30 fantasy points as well. So, you know, those are some guys that I was looking at from this team. Moving over to the Detroit side of things is interesting here. You know, we got a little turmoil going on over here at the point guard position. You know, you got Reggie Jackson. His price is down. He's at 5K, and his minutes are down. He's being outplayed by Ish Smith. As you can see, Ish Smith, he's coming in at 4,500. I'm not a fan of the defense at the point guard spot at Boston on the Boston side of things either. So you know, with that being said, you know, on FanDuel, Ish Smith is 4,500 as well. And last time these two teams played, Ish Smith played 19 minutes, and he gave them and he had 21 fantasy points. You know, so he was efficient. He was very efficient, you know, in his little 19-minute stint. You know, as for Reggie Jackson, he played 28 minutes last game. Last time these two teams made it, he had 28 fantasy points. So I don't know if I'll be looking to roster any one of them. But you know, Ish Smith is getting a lot of minutes lately. You know, so you see here 31, 17, 20, 33 last game against Charlotte. He put up 40 fantasy points. So, you know, it is what it is. Caldwell Pope. He's someone who I like today, actually. No Avery Bradley. He's getting the minutes, you know, minutes equal opportunity, and that puts him in play just from a standpoint I like to play. Andre Drummond just annihilated them last time two teams met. I think he had about 60 fantasy points. So they'll be at home. I think he's, you know, somebody that you can look to. Coming in at 7,800, he's priced at 8,100 on Fanduel. So I like that play. And then you got your guys like Tobias Harris, John Lure, and Marcus Morris. Mid-tier guys, just got to figure out which one it is, you know, that you want to incorporate in your lineup. Marcus Morris, Tobias Harris, John Lure had a nice game the last time these two teams met. So these are some mid-tier options. You know, they get a lot of minutes, and they you know, most of the time they're hitting value. So, you know, not giving you too much upside on that price tag, but you know, most of the time they do hit value, and that's what you want. You know. So moving over to Portland and Toronto. Gonna start off on the Portland side of things. Farouk Aminu is questionable. I think he's more close to probable, so that's something that you guys can keep an eye out on. Because last game, Maurice Harkless, he played about almost 40 minutes, so yeah, 38 minutes, and he did all right on that price tag. So you can keep an eye out on that for Aminu, and you know, then you'll know where his minutes be trending if he's out. Damian Lillard, he's coming in at 8,500, going up against Toronto. I don't mind the play, but he's not somebody that I've probably been on. We know he's a good player. He can erupt any minute. C.J. McCollum, another guy I don't mind to play. So, but you know, Damian Lillard though, you know, if Lowry doesn't play, which I'm not scared of Lowry's defense, but if Lowry doesn't play, he would have a nice matchup against Corey Joseph. But you know, moving on to C.J. McCollum, he'll probably be guarding. He might be guarding DeRozan, unless you know, they figure out a way to take him off of him. But DeRozan's just like a big time volume shooter. So, but I'm not a big fan of his defense. And you know, at that price, 7,600, shit, McCollum, he can hit value, you know, and exceed value with the best of the, you know, guys in the league, especially if he gets hot, you know. So his shots are there. You know, he's probably taking on an average of between 19 and 20 some shots a game, and you know, he's not afraid to chunk him up. So if you feel like you know, you want to take a swack at him, I don't mind. And you know, he's priced the same on FanDuel. Yusuf Nurkic, interesting play here. He's gone up to 5,600. He's since he's been here, you know, he's been killing it, you know, and they're probably going to need this big body. A very nice cheap center. He's priced around the same on FanDuel. I like to play 5,600. If you get anywhere between 30 minutes, you know, I really like to play. Can't too much go wrong there. You know, if he could stay around that 30-minute range, which I probably bet he'd probably be playing about 30 minutes a day. He's got to face Val. and I definitely like to play. Moving over to Toronto's side of things, DeMar DeRozan price just skyrocketed. He just went up about 10 points, I believe. Yes, he was priced at 7,800 last game, and you got a questionable Kyle Lowry. So, if Kyle Lowry don't play, you might be looking at him to taking another 25 shots this game, at least. So, at 8,800. I don't know if I'll be on him though. That's the beauty of DraftKings. You can construct your lineup in so many different ways that it could help you and benefit you by fading a person. And for those reasons, I might not be on him, but I don't know. Serge Ibaka is somebody that played 36 minutes last game. I don't mind going back to the well with him. He's only 6K, so that was his. I think that was his first game with them, and you just have to something you have to keep an eye out on. Valanciunas, they might give him a little bit more run this game. His minutes are just all over the place. Somebody who I just can't trust because his minutes, but if they feel like they can use him versus Nurkic, it'll be a nice matchup for him. Two guys, two big guys down there is, this is something that you're not used to seeing in Portland, having the big guy down there, but that might add a little bit more minutes to Valanciunas' playing time. So keep an eye out on that. PJ Tucker, he got his first game over there with these guys. He played a ton of minutes. DeMarre Carroll plays a ton of minutes. I don't know if I'll be on these guys, but they are cheaper options. So, that's something to keep an eye, that's something you can resort to if you have to. New Orleans and OKC, you got Twin Towers over here. Anthony Davis had a monster game yesterday. He's still priced under 10K. DeMarcus Cousins is someone who got in foul trouble. These guys here are pick your poison type of guys. Drew Holiday, he had a pretty nice outing last game. He bounced back. He went 5 of 17 from the field, 18 points, a couple rebounds, 6 assists, and a few turnovers, and there you have it. He's still priced at 7K, and he's shooting guard. Point guard, shooting guard eligible. So you can flex him around if you feel like you want to play him and whatnot. I don't know the stats of each one more. He might be playing. He might not be playing. You had cheaper options. Jared Jack, he stepped in and played 25 minutes yesterday. That's something to look out for. Hollis Thompson, he played about. Let me see how many minutes he played. He played 25 minutes, and these are two new additions of the to the team. So if you can figure, if one of these guys can give you some value, because I know their uses are going to be way down, so you might have to wait on that. But it's hard to predict which one of these guys are. Both of these guys are so good, so. I don't know, on the OKC side of things, Westbrook, you got Westbrook. He's coming in at 12-9. Just a phenomenal player, man. He'll be going up against these two guys, and I know he's up for the challenge, man. He's up for the challenge, man. He's just like, if you want to fire him up, man, that's the guy, man. If you want to fire him up, just fire him up. Oladipo, here's a guy. He has a great matchup if he plays. I like his matchup at 6,300 if he plays. He's priced at about 6K on Fanduel, so if he plays, I really like the matchup. I like Westbrook's matchup as well. they just don't defend well at that 1 and 2 spot over there in New Orleans, and that's where I like for you guys to attack them. Steven Adams, probably somebody I'm not on. Price at 6K. Probably somebody I'm not on. He will get the volume, but he's gonna have to rumble with the big dogs. I mean, he's a tough guy though. I believe he can hit value in the midst of those guys. It's just got to stay out of foul trouble. That's all. That's going to be his biggest task tomorrow, is staying out of foul trouble. If you don't see Oladipo, then they like Alex Abrines. This guy here, he played 30 minutes. They like his shot. Westbrook is going to get him the ball at 3,500. A punt. He probably, he'll probably get a chance to, light these guys up. McDermott, again, I don't like the perimeter defense over there in New Orleans. So that's why I think these guys like McDermott and Abrines can really benefit, especially if Oladipo is out. And then Taj Gibson, Enes Kanter, these guys are probably I'm not gonna be on. So with that being said, I move over to the late night game, the hammer game for that Sunday. You got Charlotte and the Clippers. Looking at the Charlotte side of things, these teams just played a few games ago. Kemba Walker, at this price right here, and given the point guards you got on the slate, I'll probably be looking to fade. He had 26 fantasy points last time these two teams met. He's just so up and down, man. It's hard to trust Kemba Walker, But you got a guy like Nicholas Batum. Now he's somebody that I like. He's priced at 6,900 and he's 7,100 on FanDuel. He's under 7K, guys. So he's like a Swiss Army knife. He does a lot. Definitely I definitely like him. On this slate. What did he do last time out against these guys? He had 47 fantasy points, and that's some you can take a look at. I really like him. Kaminsky had a great game against these guys last time as well. I do remember DeAndre Jordan getting into foul trouble. Kaminsky had 45 fantasy points. You can say he went 10 times. He was priced at about 4,500 last game. So, that's like the core, the bread and butter right here, the team, with Frank Kaminsky emerging in the absence of Cody Zeller. You'll have to keep an eye out on his injury situation. He could pop up at any time, but Frank Kaminsky has been playing phenomenal, and he's priced at 6,500 on DraftKings, and on FanDuel he is priced at what is Kaminsky priced at? Oh, you know what? It looked like FanDuel and pulled the caper and put him at the center spot. Let me see. They sure did. So he's at the center spot on FanDuel, and he's priced at 5,900. So there you have it for Frank Kaminsky. Kid Gilchrist, somebody who I'm probably not on. Definitely. He's very he's very crafty and what he doesn't score well. He just does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He had 22 fantasy points last time these two teams met. But he is a pretty nice option though, man. At 5,200, and then on FanDuel he's priced at 5,200. He's priced at 5,800. So the minutes are there for him, and at that small forward spot, a nice little staple, especially, I don't know how low on he can go. He wouldn't be a bad hammer, if you want a piece of this game, But I'll just go over here to the Clipper side of things, and you got Blake Griffin and Chris Paul headlining this one. Last time these two teams played, Blake Griffin had 50 fantasy points, and I like to play on Fanduel. He's priced at 9,500, so there's a little information about the pricing, but I like to play, man. I like to play. He can get down there and he can do some posting up. Man, I can see him putting, uh, return, he's priced at 8,600, man. For what he can do, that's pretty cheap. If Charlotte can keep this game kind of close, you see he had 50 fantasy points at 9,500 last game. A nice pivot off of those guys like Boogie and Davis. If he can give you some upside on that price tag, that's very nice. Another one of my favorite plays is Chris Paul. You getting him at a 8,300, man. That's a very nice price for Chris Paul and what he can do. And then he's priced a little lower on FanDuel as well. He's priced about, let me see, 8,600. So a great play, man. To me, his first game back, he jumped right into things with 33 fantasy points. So there you have it. DeAndre Jordan, like I say, last time these two teams met, he got in foul trouble. He's somebody I don't mind to play. I don't mind to play. You'll probably get Frank Tank. Frank can stretch the defense and things like that. But Clippers will be at home, and with Chris Paul back, a couple lobs ain't out the question, and I don't mind to play. I probably won't be on any of the rest of the guys. Austin Rivers, he does get his minutes though when Chris Paul is healthy. He still gets his minutes, He played pretty well last game as well. Chris Paul is like one of my favorite players on the slate, especially for price considerations. And Isaiah Thomas is another one of my favorite plays, I like those two guards a lot, especially for, like I said, for price considerations. I like Drummond. There's some pretty nice plays on this slate. I haven't begun constructing my lineups, but I think off the back, I'll probably have Chris Paul, Andre Drummond, Nicholas Batum. I'll probably have Chris Paul, Andre Drummond, Nicholas Batum, and Isaiah Thomas for sure. I'll probably have those guys, and I might have those guys in one lineup. I haven't started constructing lineups, but I'll definitely, I definitely want to try to get those guys in. I don't know how it would look. Let me see if I get Isaiah Thomas in there, Andre Drummond in there. Let me see. Who else did I? Batum. And then Chris Paul. All right. I don't know, man. You plug those four guys in. You see what how what you're looking at as far as the salary. But those are some nice plays, man. Those are some plays who I think I think they have great games, tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Thank you for making it, through this video with me. If you liked it, hit the like button. I got links to my social media accounts in the description. My Twitter at Denzel1, my First Down Podcast page on Facebook, my Fanduel, my, my my Fanduel and Draftkings group. It's called Fanduel Group, but we cover all sports. We're well over 6,000 members. We have fun. They post the lineups in there. They're helping each other. We're all doing. We're helping each other like crazy, man. So good luck to you guys, man. And with that being said, I'm out.